Rob Portman. He's making his big unexpected shift on gay marriage. He wrote something in the Columbia Dispatch, a little editorial about it. And now, so there's a lot of questions because he's previously voted against gay marriage. He's sponsored, I believe he sponsored DOMA. And even as recently as 2011, when apparently he knew that his son was gay, there had been this big student protest against him because of his positions on gay marriage, and one of his spokesmen came out and said that marriage is a sacred bond between one man and one woman. Now, we don't know exactly if that's before in 2011 or after, but it was in the same year. But now he is, let's be fair, he's coming out in support of gay marriage. People have a lot of questions for him. Why don't we go to him talking about his change of heart?
I'm announcing today a change of heart on an issue that a lot of people feel strongly about. It has to do with gay couples' opportunity to marry. And during my career in the House and also the last couple of years here in the Senate, I've taken a position against gay marriage, rooted in part in my faith and my faith tradition, and a very personal experience, which is my son came to Jane, my wife and I, told us that he was gay and that it was not a choice, and that that's just part of who he is, and he'd been that way ever since he could remember. And that launched an interesting process for me, which was kind of rethinking my position, talking to my pastor and other religious leaders, and going through a process of, at the end, changing my position on the issue. I now believe that people ought to have the right to get married.
All right, look, I want to regulate here. So, yeah, I'm glad he came to the right side, and people do change their minds, and he went through a personal experience, his son, I get all that, right? Nonetheless, I'm going to hate, okay? Mm-hmm. Because these are the guys who, until it happens to them, it's Republican 101. It reminds me of Rick Santorum. We need to do tort reform, limit these damages to $250,000. His wife has back pain because the doctor screwed something up. He sues for $500,000. When they ask him, hey, wait a minute, that's more than your tort reform. He said, no, but it's my wife.
Both sides of her back hurt.
Oh, I see. Right. So, and in this case, Rob Portman, no, I don't like. Yeah, upper and lower back. Right. Okay, I don't like it. Gay people shouldn't have the same rights. Oh, my son is gay? Then I changed my mind completely. Yeah. Oh, if it affects me, of course. If it affects you,
well, let me take that one step farther, because because there are, of course, two minds on this. One is you gotta when you're fighting for a civil right. When people, especially people in power, come to your side, it is a good day. Yes. That's all there is to it. And it's good that he got here, and good for Rob Portman for getting here. Did this classless bozo, who we're welcoming to our side, not get before that there were families with sons who were gay?
But that's what I'm saying. I think that the Republicans are missing an empathy gene.
Yeah,
they just cannot think what
they
if it was
are.
Yeah,
not a gene,
but what if it was my neighbor's son? What if that guy is gay, but he's somebody's son or daughter or whatever it might be.
Every gay person you see is somebody's son.
Exactly, but he doesn't think about that because all he cares about is himself. So when it affects him, all of a sudden, I get it, right? And until then, they got this agenda, and then of course you can always use the Bible for whatever you like, right? He just turned it around. They've been using the Bible to discriminate against gay people for how many decades, how many centuries, how many millennium now, right? And now he turns around and says, oh, it turns out the Bible teaches compassion. Yeah. Oh, really, Rob? Oh, that's interesting. In fact, I got a quote from him. It says, ultimately for me, it came down to the Bible's overarching themes of love and compassion and my belief that we are all children of God. Well, why weren't you children of God 2 years ago?
In his defense, there were major edits done to the Bible 2 years ago.
Oh, is that right?
Before that, it was
around June of 2011.
We're all children of God as long as those children of God are also children of mine.
Exactly. If they're children of yours, then I don't give a damn.
I hated this in many ways because of just what we've been talking about. And you're right, it's the empathy gene, is that you really, at some point, you have to recognize that, who do you think these gay people are? They're all somebody's son. So it's incredible. I think I was more frustrated than pleased, and then a little angry at myself for being more frustrated than pleased. Like I should be, I should be welcoming and open, and I am. But then I watched the interview, which we just played a clip of, and he's blowing that. Like, it's so manicured and careful and planned and studious and thoughtful, and not And not a moment of like, boy, I tell you, it happens to you, and you get hit in the face with the fact that you were wrong.
No,
Like,
Ben, you nailed it. That's exactly what I was trying to put my finger on. He didn't look human.
No,
he
not
looked
at
like
all.
a politician. Like,
No.
oh, I talked to my pastor and I talked to Dick Cheney, and
I thought,
like, give me a moment of like, hey, you know what? I thought, man, you knucklehead. You know, this happens to other families too, and I felt bad about what I'd been saying before.
Totally. Right. He
Because
could've
they
gotten out
went
of it.
through what I went through.
And maybe
like, that would
tell
be human.
other Republicans, maybe you should think about this because, look, I should have had this position before. It was wrong of me not to. You may not have a gay son. You shouldn't need a gay son to make this same change. But he's trying to say, look, I've changed on this, but I'm the same person, same values. No other Republicans need to change. Like, if he's coming over to our side, it's the most begrudging come to our side anybody has ever had on that
right,
issue.
because he doesn't want to get primaried.
Yeah.
I thought what I was cutting you off with there is that I thought that prior to seeing this interview today, I thought, man, Mitt Romney blew it by not picking Rob Portman. And now I'm like, Rob Portman.
No, Rob Portman is the most boring guy in the world, most standard robotic politician. That's why I didn't think he would have been a good VP pick at all. But look, the upside of all this is we're going to win, okay?
Yeah.
And by we, we're all progressives here, obviously, right? None of us are gay, but we actually have an empathy gene, so we can understand it. So it's not like a foreign concept like, whoa, somebody's gay, I don't get it. What? What if it was mine? Oh, I get it. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to win on this issue, man. You know why? Because all of them are going to realize this. Oh, right. Oh, my daughter's gay. Oh, my nephew's gay. Or my grandmother was gay and I never knew. Oh, it turns out I'm gay. And so we're going to win because the more people know, and they've done polling on this all the way back in the 1970s, the more people know gay people directly, personally, the more they're in favor of gay rights.